relocation plan, you don't know where you're going to an hour before you're leaving when they hand you your ticket and your dossier of what school your son's going to go to and what's his name going to be, and
That sounds terrible. Like, the only I saw it, I just watched My Name is Earl, so I saw them go through it. I can't imagine just being like, yeah, you're moving to Nebraska and your name's Joe now, and you can't tell anybody. You can't contact anybody.
Do you know anyone that ever went under the witness protection program?
Salubats.
Yeah.
Salubats. I met him here in Studio City. He lived around the corner from your house.
Oh, really?
And it was very interesting because you grow up, with this code that you'll never snitch, you'll never rat. I've never ratted. I don't believe, I don't know. But it's crazy when you actually rat. Like, I always want to know the reasons, and I like to figure them out. With Salu Batts, it's a very interesting story. He was going to get 20 years for heroin. He could have done the 20 years standing on his head. Sal is fucking 78. And he just got married a month ago. Like, he's one of those guys. He looks great. He's in great shape. But what people don't know about Sal was that when Sal was going through all that shit with John Gotti, he had 2 sons that were fucking college, heavy-duty prospect. Like, they were in high school, and fucking colleges were already looking at these 2 guys.
Oh, really?
Like, big time. So, here's the story. When he got flipped, he thought about his kids. And he ratted on John Gotti, and he took his kids to Texas and changed their names. And, it took the government a lot because they were looking for the boys. That's how Gotti was going to find them, through the boys. So they had to switch their names and put them in different high schools in different fucking parts of Texas. And guess what? They both got scholarships to Division I schools.
Oh, really?
Fuck yeah.
So they still played?
One primarily, the University of Colorado in Boulder.
Oh, really?
So all those years when I was living in Boulder, Salu Batts was up the corner in North Boulder.
Yeah.
That's what we hit off after we met. Son went, and then he played pro football. So now, when I just spoke to Sal a week ago, he's in Vegas, and he got approached by a writer now, and he's got a little deal. Paramount or somebody threw him a little deal, and they're going to write the story of his sons.
So, so when do you get to leave the witness protection program?
When do you get to leave?
Yeah, if he's telling you this and we're talking about
when
it,
when I met him, he was already gone from the program. He still had contact with the handlers. We shot a horrible movie called The Sinatra Club. And when I got to the set, not only was the FBI there, but Henry Hill was there. Drunk, he was just a fucking loser fuck,
Really?
Like, when you met Henry Hill is like 70% of the people in Hollywood. They did something one time, but they blew it up into something else, You could tell Henry Hill was just a half a mutt, and even Sal said to me, he goes, one time, when I first got into the program, I got a job working as an apartment building manager. And I got a hold of Henry. Henry lived in Venice or the Valley or whatever, and I invited him over. And when we were drinking coffee, he saw the apartment keys to all the apartments. And he's like, why don't we rob the apartments? He goes, Henry, you're 50-something fucking years old.
Really?
Henry was still he was just a fucking thug that got to tell his story first. Then a bunch of people wrote their books saying that guy was crazy. But Scorsese bought them all, so nobody could deter from his story. Primarily the daughter. Henry Hill's daughter wrote a great book, and she was like, how can you believe a guy that was high? He married, listen, Henry Hill was so crazy. There's a part in My Blue Heaven where Steve Martin goes into he's a mafia guy. Have you ever seen that movie?
Right.
Great, brilliant movie. But there's a scene where he calls his handler and he goes, hey, Vinny, I got married. Say hello. And he goes, but Vinny, you're already married. He goes, don't worry, I married her under my other name. Henry Hill at one time was married to his wife in the same house in Washington State. He was married to his wife, and she lived in the building, in the basement, and he was married to a young chick upstairs under his witness relocation name. And that's what he told his wife. Because what are you talking about? It's not cheating. I married her under my witness name. But in his criminal, fucking, demented, alcoholic, cocaine mind,
Right.
he thought that was, like, fine. Like,
So did the two women know about each other and
oh, yeah, they
coexisted?
lived in the same house, and then,
Right.
shit turned over. Then he got busted in Washington, and then all this shit went down. But, it's like the most interesting guy in the world to me the last 20 years. Like, I find a lot of people interesting. Hemingway is interesting. But I like when somebody makes something out of nothing.
Yeah.
Those are the people that impress the fuck out of me, whether it's a woman with a Avon company or something, whatever. Is a guy, he just got out of jail. Sammy the Bull just got out of jail. I would pay to have him on the podcast, to pick his business mind apart, and to pick, after 30 years, why he ratted. And I guarantee that he'd say that I'd write down why he ratted and give it to him, and he'd go, how did you know? Because I thought about it. He had to get to them before they got to them. You follow me?
Right.
Sometimes it's better to get your story out faster before he tells his.
Exactly. Yeah.
When the tapes first came out, it made the tape sound like he was crazy, Sammy the Bull Gravano. Like Gotti was just talking all this shit about him. Meanwhile, he was making $12 million a fucking year. Like giving you $12 million a year off his construction rackets. When I give you $1 million a month off my construction rackets, do you know how much money I'm making?
$10 million a month.
So you have to understand, that guy figured out how to become, this is why I never understood why Trump, beside the politics and the elections and the wig and the bad hair and the Russians, I never understood how Trump got elected, because in Sammy's book, he talks all about Trump.
Yeah.
It was the construction business.
I know.
And it was the construction business.
Well, I remember you telling me about that when it was during the election. I
Way
was like,
before the election, I told the people, I'm like, he mentioned it in the book, and then she came out and said, I hope Trump wins because maybe he'll pardon my dad. They're old friends. She said it. The daughter said it on Entertainment Weekly or something.
Right.
That's construction is construction. And he gives the story how he would shake Trump down.